Hello, everyone, and welcome to TemTalk episode 34, your weekly podcast dedicated to the creature collection MMO Temtem. We're excited tonight. The gentleman, Gaijin and Kennedy, didn't send me the memo about the pastel colors.
We did not. We
hold on, wait.
We wanted to keep it fair.
Let me. I'll have to go to a wardrobe change halfway through the episode. But as always, of course, I'm Vonlin, joined by Gaijin and Kennedy there. Kennedy, how are you doing this fine evening? You said you've been talking about you were sad that we didn't do a Temp Talk last Monday, so you're extra amped up tonight and ready to go.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Gaijin, how are you doing?
I mean, doing okay. Work was a bit longer today, so I'm sitting here. I might eat on stream today because, again, I didn't eat, so I've got my food ready.
Is that new artwork behind you, or just a different camera angle showing off more of it?
No, it's new artwork that I put up.
Okay.
It's from the same artist that did my skateboard.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
My spray paint cans.
Gaijin, I learned things this week about Dragon Ball Z that we have to talk about in the post show. My whole world has been flipped.
The whole world's been flipped, even.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll talk about it later.
Well, let's jump straight into the Temtem news, because we have a lot to talk about because we didn't do our normal episode for 2 weeks, and there was a bunch of patch updates. So let's jump right into Saipark, shall we?
Which Saipark?
Yeah, I was gonna
talking about this week's Saipark.
Yeah, this week's Saipark. Very quickly, well, it was SV's last week. I had it pulled up, and I was like, I'm not going to talk about it. And now, of course, you caught me off guard.
About? It was a Luma week last week.
No,
for double Luma odds.
For Kisawa. What two Tems was it? It was Grumper?
It was
Grumper.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say double Luma odds, because it was only 1x Luma odds, but it was 100% spawn rate.
Yeah, so it's double their normal spawn
like
rate.
20% spawn, I believe.
So, yeah. So, did either of you guys go in Saipark that week at all?
No.
I accidentally forgot Saipark existed.
Accidentally forgot.
Zazair was one of the first Kisawa Tims that I perfect right out of the gate.
Oh, you
so
already
I wasn't
had it.
I wasn't itching to go get me some Zazair stuff. And then I forgot that I got Sai cards from Free Tim last week. And Monday morning I woke up and I was like, oh, let me spin those Sai. Oh, wait a second. And they were already gone.
Well, this week's Saipark is 2,500 Pansuns, 5 Sai cards. You can get 4 Sai cards for free for rewards, instead of just 2, which I like. But it's Genki and Bigu Luma odds ×3 for the Bigu, ×4 for the Genki. Both spawn in 80%, 10% egg technique chance, and very, very exciting to see. The Telemore hacks are only 220 releases for once, and at 400 releases you get a die.
Yeah, I know. Come on, Crema, way to screw me over on money here, because last week the Telemore hacks were too high for the person I sell my free Tem to want to buy it, and then this week I get half price. Come on.
Yeah, so those 4...
Also, real quick, I want to make sure it's right for the podcast. Somebody in my stream corrected me, so I'm going to correct you. It's not a die for 400; it's a die bundle for 400. That's with the DB, so it's like 5 or 6 dies in there.
They've never done a single die. I think that's is applied. It's always been a die
last
bundle.
week was a single die, but not for 400. Last week was a single die for 375.
Oh, really? I'd never realized that they distinguished between that. Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Well, it's a good free.
Lavender one last week, and I was like, all right.
I think it's a pretty cool Saipark week, all things said. I think 220 releases for 2 Telemore hacks is really attainable. A nice die bundle is always fun to see. And Bigu Luma, I think, is very exciting. Genki, I couldn't be less excited about Luma Genki, isn't it? I feel like this is the 3rd time we've had Genki in Saipark for Luma weeks. It's definitely the second time at least.
Yeah, but it's 4 times odds, so just let it be. Let it be. It's not FOMO again, so we can at least be happy about that, okay?
That is. Are you happy that it's not FOMO, or that it's 4-time odds at least, or both?
Both. I don't want FOMO again for at least a year at this point.
My gosh! Somebody in my chat earlier was saying they wanted a Luma 2Y week, and I was just like, not again, please.
It's not gonna happen. Sorry,
it's not. It's not.
Sorry, yeah. No more 5% in Saipark. At least
Can we
for
all
now.
take a moment to appreciate that?
Yeah.
It's like Gaijin and I want that for opposite reasons, but we both agree that it should be a thing.
Still don't believe that they won't change their mind at some point for a special event. I don't think they'll do it normally, but I still don't believe that it will never happen again.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to, honestly. I think they're being real about it. At least for now, for a while, we might see it for some event or something, but 5% need to be rare. They're 5% for a reason. So, not only does it make them less rare and more common, it just it kills people. Like, not really, but it ruined the game for a lot lot of people.
Yeah,
Like,
I was about to say
so
after
much burnout happened because of 2i week, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess I'll take a compromise if they put 5%ers in a non-Luma week with just like increased odds at least to spawn. Like this.
Now, see, I still want I want eggs, man, from from Free Tim. Like, imagine just like a 500 release egg week, and it's a 1 in 800 like Luma chance egg. Like, that'd be fun.
You want the top reward from the free release to be a Luma egg, a 1 in 800 Luma egg.
Yeah, not
At
like
least
a
have it-
double.
Oh
Luma
my,
egg.
Kennedy, stop! Just can we mute Kennedy, please?
I don't hate that idea. It's a weird idea, but I like
hate
it.
that idea.
That's out of
Get
the
outta here.
box. I want to
Get outta
see.
here. It's not out of the box. That's a beggar being a beggar. Please give me better opportunities at a Luma.
I'm just
Well,
be
no,
happy.
because it's like I don't mind a increased chance at a 5%er, but I feel like a rare increased chance. Like, you shouldn't be able to Luma hunt Saipark for 200 hours. Well, no, that's not 200 hours in a week. Like 100 hours in a week to go for a 5%er. But I definitely don't mind, like, here's 3 encounters at a 5%er, and the 3 encounters you have like a 5 times increased Luma odd of just like very few people are going to get it in those 3 encounters. But for the few that do, that's fun.
All right,
That's like why I was thinking the egg.
No,
Just like, okay, well, if I was to put a 5%er as an increased chance for the community, where would I do it? Because I don't think you should ever do, like, 10 times the odd on this 5%er. But maybe 3 times the odd, whatever the math adds up to, of 3 times whatever the 5% of 1 in 8,000. So I don't know. Never mind. Let's just move on.
I was gonna say, before we argue about Saipark for yet again and Luma's yet again, like we do almost every week, at least every month for sure. The only thing I'm okay with none of the 5%ers appearing, except I would just like the starters to appear in some form, in some capacity. I want to hunt the starters in some.
They
at
already
some point.
said they're not going to until they're all available. So
that's
it's possible. It's possible, but at the same time, I don't know. I can see the starters at least.
Yeah,
because
I could wait till after post-launch. Full game, full player base is available. Well, let's have a starter week in Saipark, like a month after release or 2 months after release.
That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it, but at the same time, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah. The starters are so solid though. So.
The other quick piece of news I was going to comment on is just to let people know the karaoke submissions have closed. So hopefully everyone got theirs in already. And we'll know the winner on October 12th, which is a week from today. So by the time we do the show, we'll probably be able to play the winning submission on the show next Monday.
Surprise, everybody. It's me.
I don't know, Gaijin. I submitted mine too. I listened back to mine at about 10 o'clock Saturday night, and I was just like, it's not the best. But out of the people who I know are in the Temtem community and the people that I know are going after this, I feel like I can kick the butt of everyone.
You can beat them.
Like, all right, just click send. And I sent it in. And my video is on my YouTube channel, and it's unlisted, so nobody can see it regularly.
Link us.
I might.
Why haven't you shared this?
If you don't win, okay, can we play it on next week's episode as part of the episode, regardless of if you're so either a winner or not? Maybe you'll hear Kennedy as the winner on the next episode.
I don't mind I don't mind singing and doing karaoke. I don't like listening to myself sing and do
you
karaoke.
can mute stream and we'll play the clip.
Yeah, it's just the really, really hard thing about the really hard thing, I guess, about just public speaking in general.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
anything.
yeah, I can public speak, but I don't want to listen to myself.
Oh, my least favorite thing to do is to watch any of our YouTube videos because I hate listening to myself. I can't.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
That is.
Every
I completely
viewers
understand that, Vonlin, because
every
I hate
viewer
listening to you too.
Yeah.
So
I knew I was setting you up
was
for that
saying,
one.
The video is unlisted on my YouTube channel, so nobody can see it unless they have the link. And it had 2 views this morning. And I was like, all right, somebody at Crema watched it, and somebody at Crema showed it to someone else.
Pretty soon there's going to be like 16 views, and everybody at Crema will have seen it, and they'll start using it for memes.
I'm down for that. I just
you didn't see the small print. You gave him permission for that when you submitted it. It was in the contract.
Fair.
So we're gonna have a little bit different. We're gonna do a little bit less news than we normally do right now on tonight's show because a lot of the news was all about the updates in the last 2 weeks. So we're just gonna do that as our main topic at the bottom half of the show, and we're gonna skip the weekly mix as well because we want to save time for some Kennedy to talk about some PvP. Excuse me. So we're gonna go straight into our listener questions. Kilo Kangaroo wrote in. Yeah, Kilo Kangaroo wrote in again. This is his second or maybe third question from Kilo Kangaroo, so thank you. And I want you guys both to know, and everyone else to know, the subject line was "Don't let Gaijin growl." So Gaijin, you've developed a reputation officially. I keep harping on this, but it continues to keep coming up from the listeners of being the grumpy guy on TemTalk. Twisting the mustache there. So Kilo actually wrote in 4 questions, so we'll do these one at a time here. The top, and we'll just kind of give short answers since there's 4 of them here. So number 1, only counting the fully endorsed types: wind, water, nature, fire, crystal, toxic, earth, neutral. I don't know, what do they mean by fully endorsed types? I don't know.
Tems that have islands out, or like the plan is. Gotcha. Or rather, where most of the Tems of that type have been released.
Right,
already.
Okay. Which typing do you personally believe is in the most need of a tune-up? Out of the types
are we gonna answer this part by part?
Yeah, we'll do it part by part. Yeah, part by part.
Who wants to take it first?
I mean, I'm sure you have the most to say about it. Why don't you just...
Yeah, okay. Why don't you start and see if you cover any of our bases?
We will get to this later in the show. On my stream, my viewers and I, we did community balance changes, and we came up with things that, we think need to be adjusted. I went back and looked at those in preparation for this question, and the 2 types that had the most changes we were making were water types and earth types. I think all of those types that are listed are actually in a ridiculously great place right now. But I just think among the water Tems and among the earth Tems, some outshine the others like by such a huge margin that there are certain water Tems that are just 100% useless, and there's certain earth Tems that are just completely useless. And I feel like if I was to focus on these, I would try and tune up earth Tems. And adjust them. Ideally, they just need some stuff working with their priorities and some things working with, like, a lot of earth Tems like Karin are really, really close to being good, but are just missing that essential element to be playable. So I would start with earth. We already have really fantastic water Tems that define the meta. Earth Tems fit into the meta, but they don't really define it currently, other than maybe Volphy.
You mean like making earth resistant to wind? Because wind is so powerful in the meta, and there's just not enough that's like strong against it. It's basically neutral damage to everything. It's a second neutral type essentially.
If you throw a rock, if you throw a rock at a bird, the bird just gets angry and it's just like, leave me alone.
A bird is not the wind.
I'm kidding.
Birds aren't the wind.
If you throw a rock at a breeze, the breeze gets angry.
I just want to clarify that here on TemTalk, we do not endorse animal abuse or throwing rocks at animals.
I agree.
And the viewers and opinions stated by Kennedy do not represent the views of TemTalk Incorporated.
I'm just poking Gaijin because he has voiced this opinion multiple times. And I know how he feels about
this is another old bone.
It needs to be done. Like come on. Like how often do you see the wind destroying Earth? Like, if anything, it slowly erodes the Earth over time. And we're talking Earth. We're not talking rocks. We're talking the Earth. Mountains, things like that. Water, yes, can do massive damage to the Earth in one fell swoop. But
This is so
wind,
metaphysical.
even tornadoes, like, does not do a whole lot of damage to the base of the Earth. Like, it
I
just
agree
makes
with
sense.
I agree with Gaijin in some senses because it's like there should be a competitive balance, but there should also be a thematic balance to the game too.
Do you
And
think making Earth resistant to wind would make Earth too powerful? Like,
do
just
do I think it would make Earth too powerful? Earth is already really decently strong. If every Earth Tim was like resistant to wind, I don't think
I
it
mean,
would make
Earth.
Earth too
Wait,
powerful.
wasn't
I feel
Earth
like
one
it'd
of the
make
types you
wind.
said just needed a tune-up?
Yeah.
So is it
Like,
already powerful, or does it need a tune-up? Pick a side of the fence, Kennedy.
so here's where I stand. Let me explain my thinking on that. Not that Earth would be too powerful if you had a swap in to wind type damage, in the form of, like, let's say Earth Tims can take wind damage. It would really hurt wind so much because wind's only effect or super effective damage is toxic. And one of the great things about running wind on your team is that you can, when you need to pressure a slot, you can exert pressure knowing that pretty much nothing but another wind tim is going to swap in there. Giving more options to tank wind damage, I think, is going to devalue wind to such a point where a lot of wind tims are great, but wind tims are hanging on by a thread. When you say what's the good wind moves, we got Feather Gatling, Hypoxia, Hyperkinetic Strike, and Tornado. And the
oh,
Tims that
just 4 or 5 moves?
well, the
That
Tims
is a
that
lot.
have those moves are great, but the wind Tims that don't have those moves don't get played.
Yeah, Muzz is talking about the fact that Muzz brings up a good point in chat about how there's not really electric added yet, and that's gonna change Earth
Right,
Yeah.
and
but
wind
sure,
quite a bit.
like, I don't think that making Earth resistant to wind would have any effect on the playstyle once electric is introduced. Like, electric's already, weak against Earth as it is, and Earth is super effective against electric as it is. So it's not going to change anything in that sense. But, like, I'm not saying so they should both be resistant to each other, Earth and wind, because obviously the Earth isn't going to come up and slap the wind like that. That's not how it works. The wind goes around Earth.
Well, let me keep moving this on because this next part of the question is very up in this alley. Specifically, they want to know which Temtem do you personally believe needs the most love and attention. We're talking balance here, not affection. So specific Tem needs the most love. So so you're saying that is in the most need of a buff.
Yeah. Do one of you guys want to tackle this one first?
I'm thinking
Otherwise,
about
I
it.
can go again.
I'm thinking about it.
Well, you think I'm gonna say straight up Gario or Taifu. Both of them really need huge comprehensive changes that fundamentally kind of change what the Tim are.
Does anyone ever play Prianit? I feel like in competitive
Piranhians?
Yeah.
Nobody plays Piranha, but there's really two things that hold Piranha back. There's a lot of theoretical players of Piranha. It's really hard, I guess, to find a perfect Pukey these days with Revitalize. And then there's just like a lot of people that are like, man, Piranha could be good, but it kind of takes investment. So I've listened to Tsubaki Theorycraft about how he wants to run Piranha and some ideas that he was thinking about before Piranha even got buffed last patch. And then also Talakai has sent me a lot of messages. We go back and forth on how to make Piranha viable. But I just
got buffed in the last patch. I missed that part of it.
Yeah, I think it got more attack and then something else.
We'll get to that in our second part, so we'll take a closer look at it. That's my answer. That's gonna be my answer. So
yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of water Tems that honestly still need some work. What do we have? Ukama and Whiplump? Are those like basically the two most common water Tems?
Is the water 2-eye Gassini play, Kennedy?
If you run a freeze comp, yes, but
Mm.
freeze isn't good right now.
I guess that is like the
so,
one thing you
no.
can do with water Tems, isn't it? Is you can do freeze comps. Oshiara doesn't.
Yeah,
I would like to
water
see
wind.
Oshiara get played more too, I guess.
Man, I saw some people trying to bring back Saipat last week, and I was like, "Let's go!" Like Saipat's not.
I remember Saipat
right
being really
now,
good,
but-
so I'm okay with if Saipat's on the bench
I just
still.
pulled up the water list. Lots of people are running Platimus and the guys. I don't even know why that slipped my mind.
Man, I completely
Yeah.
forgotten the guys.
Platimus and the guys in
Yeah.
Calibus are.
You don't
in
think
there.
of Nagais when you think water Tems. Even though
Yeah.
it
Calibus
is.
got a pretty good buff too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. I had to pull up the list for my brainy brain to do the stuff.
Okay, so there are quite a few water Tems, but I still think I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of water Tems that are just
Useless.
yeah. Although
Yeah,
there's
like,
a lot of
who's-
nature Tems that are useless too.
Yeah, nature was
fair.
going to be my
There's
answer to the
basically-
first
I
part.
think there's a lot of everything that's kind of useless. There's like maybe three of each type that are really viable. Maybe 4 or 5 tops, I think. But
I would also go out and say fire is in a really, really good spot right now. Because it's like when you think about fire Tims, Kapire doing amazing right now with Quetzalino. Rise and Riken both get ran. Drakash has its place on the teams.
Yeah.
Mastion is really, really good on the guys'
And
team.
Crystal is so
Volcrane
good.
for Extinction, and
Crystal
Anahir
is so
sucks.
good. Pre-patch, they can leave Crystal on the bench. The Crystal and Fire, they don't need any help right
Yeah.
now.
Well, fire needed help, but it got help.
Right.
So
Well, let's keep moving this along. The next question is, and I like the second part of this. I just read the second part for the first time. It made me laugh. Which Temtem is the most adorable? You can't choose your mascots. And in parentheses,
what?
he wrote
this is
Starch.
easy.
Starch
This is
Gerbil. I
easy.
listen to the nicknames. This Kilo King. That must be Talca, right? I think I put that earlier in the question, but this definitely confirms it. I didn't know that previously to the show going live. Starch Gerbil, Kraken, or bunny-eared punch shroom. So the bunny-eared mushrook is still coming back. I like that. Thank you, Talca, for bringing that back around. But which Temtem's most adorable? You can't pick any of those 3.
Easy Pocus. Pocus. Like, one and done. We're out of there. It's got a little scarf. It's got, like, the little kinetic balls over its head. And it's got its, like, little ninja hands. It's so cute. And it's got its little bang, too.
And it runs like it's got the Naruto run, and it
Yes.
stands in its like martial arts positions and stuff. And then it's like, by the way, I'm not even a melee type. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Chat mentioned something. There's a right answer to this question.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no.
It's Banapy.
Rip.
It's
Rip.
Vanity.
Oh, is Willow bribing you? I don't need to read chat to know
Not
who's telling you
bribing,
that.
threatening, quietly threatening.
I don't know. Momo. I put Momo in the running. I put Goaty in the running. I really like the big eyes on
Goaty's
Goaty.
so cute.
Yeah, I think it might be Goaty for me. I'm
I don't know. When I
I
think about this question, I think about like what did I put on my team just because aesthetically, I enjoy running it and like thematically I enjoy it. And Pocus is a Tim that's not great, but like I run it
looks
because
very
I want
cool.
to, because I like it.
Looks very very cool. I don't think Goaty's the cutest. I would just want to cuddle with a Goaty and have a Goaty pet in real life.
I honestly feel like Ori is super damn adorable. Like
That's fair.
it's just the cutest flipping robot.
Yeah.
I mean, look at it.
I didn't think about Ori as an
that.
option.
It's super adorable. I love Ori. It's super cute. I know we can't get it yet, but eventually we'll be able to. And it's so cute.
It's a solid answer.
I love it. Oh, and of course, Osukai.
I always call it Osuchi.
Yeah, Osuchi is definitely top 5, maybe top 3, probably 2.
I just realized
second place.
I could do this with the photo mode, and I can have like a Temtem be our 4th host hanging out with us on the show.
Nice.
I need to do this more often.
Oh, look, the digital Tims are getting loose. They're taking over TemTalk.
And then the last question was, do you think General X should actually hire Tateru generals? Or Tateru generals?
Yes, I mean, I honestly don't know what they're thinking. They should have done this a long time ago. Tataru had one of the highest stats in the game, and you can actually tame them and tell them what to do. They don't really have a choice, right? Like, you just do what you're told. Robotic army of death.
Who has the highest base stats now?
Yeah,
Yowler.
Yeah.
497.
Yowler does?
What what is Tachiru's base stats currently?
I think it's 494 or 487. One
All
of
right,
the two.
still high, still high.
Yeah,
Just,
Tataru's
of
up
course,
there.
they're not in all the right spots, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Talakai, for that question. Be cool like Talakai and submit listener questions to temtalkshow@gmail.com, and we'll read them out on the air. That's temtalkshow@gmail.com. With that, we're going to look at some highlights from the community. And this was the second part of the news was in this. Another part of the news that I wanted to save for this part is that we're in Temtober. What is it? Yeah, Temtober? Yeah, Temtober. Temtober Challenge 2020 is here. This is a tweet from the Play Temtem Twitter. One prompt, one drawing each day. You choose the medium, size, format, etc. This one's just for fun, so don't worry about being the best and just have a good time. Use hashtag Temtober and tag us so we don't miss any of your entries. And they have the 31 days for October and different prompts.
Excedra, like Excedrin, the headache medicine.
You make for what? Is this something I said?
You said Excedra instead of etc.
So what is it? October 5th? October 5th. So we've done 5 days of this. So far it's been all types. It's going to be all types through the 12th. And then it's going to go by island. And then a bunch of random stuff after that. So I pulled up a bunch of art from this. We're going to kind of rapid fire mode go through a bunch that have been shared on the Temtem Twitter here. We'll just take a moment on each of these and try to describe them briefly for the audio.
While you're there,
listeners.
if you could press the follow button on Temtem, since you're using the correct Twitter account.
Am
now,
I?
You
made me panic. I'm not even sure if I'm following and if I'm logged in the right account. Okay.
You are. It says @TemTalk in the bottom left. I can see it.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Vonlin finally has control of the correct Twitter account. You guys can now tweet at TemTalk. And I think Kennedy and I both have the access to that account, so we can also respond.
But you reminded me. I forgot about the biggest, most important tweet that was ever happened on the Play Temtem Twitter account. I should have covered it in the news. Can I go find it?
They retweeted us like last week.
Yeah, they retweeted the Emporium, but then they also retweeted the YouTube episode. I was very excited about that. It's Suki on the 29th retweeted the episode on YouTube.
101 likes. Oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Hey, look at you see this guy's on screen?
Listeners.
I liked the tweet. It was my first ever liking of a tweet.
Wow, you figured out how to press the heart.
Your boomer energy is decreasing.
Slightly.
Whoa. He got lucky.
All right, if he can like a second one.
He was probably trying to retweet it.
Yeah.
I had to hover over each of the buttons to see which one was which. But okay, so the entries so far. Let's pull up the first one here from Squishy Master. They did day number 4 water. They drew my tamer and my trusty shoeline. So that's pretty cool art.
Trusty, questionable.
You don't trust shoeline?
Show me a shoeline consistently performing in matches, and I'll show you somebody who's working.
Ooh.
But it is cute art. It is really, really cute.
Yeah, I like the bond that the two of them appear to have in the photo. Next up, I like this one because it's Halloween themed. Julia tweeted Toteru with a Halloween pumpkin bucket of candy. It is so
adorable.
It doesn't even have any. I mean, it doesn't have to do anything with Halloween at all. I mean, it's a Toteru.
No, I want to see more of these.
It's already cute automatically.
I want to see more of these Halloween.
When I started playing Temtem, I did not think enough of the monster designs look cool, and I was like, it's way too cute. I'm gonna hate this game, but I'll still try it out.
Yeah.
And like the cuteness is one of the things that really keeps me coming back. It's like you cannot illustrate these Tims without them just looking beyond adorable.
We've never talked about it, but I had the same reaction, where not the exact same reaction, but I was cold. I was cold to the Temtem designs when I first picked up playing Temtem. I like Pokemon for the nostalgia. I don't really know if I like any of these enough, but it grew on me. It all grew on me, and I've heard other people that had a similar experience.
I just want to say Uliest_Uliest or Julie. I'm your biggest fan.
We got another one, a second tweet from Squishy Master. They did the day 1 and day 2 together with a goatee
the
and a Tukai.
Tukai protecting the goatee, and they got a
in
little
the
wind
nest.
egg.
Yeah,
Oh, it's so cute.
This is probably my favorite one, I think, out of all of these. Yeah. And I like. I don't know if they're having the actual egg there too, which I'm like, hey, we know what Temtem eggs look like.
Somewhere in Dennis, a tamer lost a goatee egg, but a Tukai got. Oh, okay. I was confused what the goatee was doing there for a second. I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh yeah, hatched.
I
yeah.
like.
Did they have this baby? Because I don't.
That's
think
fair.
That's
how did it
it
get in the
works.
nest? No, that's yeah.
I should have read the caption
Yeah.
or listened if you read it.
I stopped. I stopped before that part, so it's a very very good catch. Next up, Marsh BLM gave us a Pigapec, a cute little Pigapec for day 2 wind.
It's so fluff. It's just a Pigapec with all of its feathers ruffled.
So darn fluff. It's amazing.
And Glitched Bat gave us a very cool looking Moflank. I'm a day behind for Temtober, so here's my thing for day 1.
Imagine spending 1 day drawing that freaking Moflank.
I was gonna say,
looks so
how are all these
cool.
people slamming out this art so quickly?
I believe that Glitched Bat is actually a streamer too, if I remember correctly.
Yes, the name looks very familiar.
Temtem, right?
The name looks familiar. You're right. It's someone that streams
streaming
Temtem. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that Moflank. It's a Moflank for everybody listening. It's a Moflank just like kind of sitting down like cows do before it rains. And it's got its like little hooves underneath it, and it's looking to the side. But it's extremely well illustrated. The line work is fantastic, and it's got shading on the underside of it, where it's just like a 1 day drawing. It's really really well done.
I have a couple that I'd like to share from other people real quick here. I'll drop the links in the chat there.
Discord chat's not gonna work, dude. Discord.
That's what I meant.
That's what you meant.
I know what I'm doing. I'm doing.
I'll share this last one when I get those links ready. From Akai said, sorry for the spam, but I started to love play Temtem, and they have a very very cute. This is the first Luma we saw in all of the art. Platypet coming up out of a lily pad, looking at you all very cutely.
All right, hold on. I'm getting all the links here. The first one I sent you was from Graceful Klutz.
Okay, I'll put it in the document.
I got it here on stream.
Okay.
There we go. I got it pulled up. Oh, it's a little comic strip. Cute.
Yeah, it's a little comic strip. It's super adorable. Grace did a fantastic job with it. Congratulations, Grace. You're famous.
I like the boop as it comes out of the egg. That's my favorite part of this. Okay, what else?
Yeah,
adorable. It's so adorable. You should totally be proud of that.
For anybody listening, it's a shuine curled around a crystal egg, and the egg is hatching, and then a little baby shuine pokes its nose out of the egg,
Luma
and then Luma baby shuine, and then they rub their noses together. But the little heart is cute.
Yep.
And then I got your other one pulled up here.
And that is from Kananate. It's Pick-a-Pick, and it's super adorable as well.
Yeah, another floofy Pick-a-Pick.
So yeah, it'll be fun this month. Each week we'll be able to check in and have a lot of these to share. So we'll have plenty of art to share for the week of October, which is going to be a lot of fun. So I can't wait to see these keep streaming in.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this, honestly. like so there's a lot of drama around the original Inktober. I'm not gonna talk too much about it, but I love that Temtem is doing something for it, just because like it's awesome. So now it's all gonna be Temtem themed, and I can't wait to see the content for it.
Yeah, we're only 5 days in, and there's a ton of it. So
yeah.
Kennedy, you got this community balance changes in this area. If I may, can we put this all under your PvP chatting under the community events, just to
sure, let's go for
all
it.
the PvP in one section. Yeah. So
I just put it in the community section because a lot of people in my stream really helped chime in, and we talked about it back and forth and came up with cool stuff.
Let's.
And then Q Angel commented on it. Not stuff relevant to the changes, but really cool information to know for the future.
Oh,
so.
really? You'll have to tell me. You'll have to tell us about this in a little bit. I'm curious to hear
Yeah,
about that.
I can move it in the document.
No, you don't
if
have
you
to.
want to.
You're fine. You're fine. So we
Okay.
next up then, it's what we've been up to this week. So the sound clip is accurate for me this week. I did catch a Luma or a Tem, but here I'll let one of you guys, either of you guys, go first about what have you been up to in Temtem in the last 2 weeks, really, at this point.
Would you like to start off, Gaijin?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I've just been free temming still. I'm really not doing like too much. Like I'm gonna do some Luma hunting this week, and I'm gonna do some more free temming. I need to furnish my house fully. I don't have much in there as of right now, but I got a bunch of gifts from people to furnish my house with, which is super awesome. And other than that, I mean, I just haven't been doing too much in Temtem. Just free temming, the occasional Luma hunting. I
Grinding those Pansuns.
did find my second Luma in 9 weeks.
Let's go.
So my Gaijin Buu finally found another Luma 9 weeks after finding the last one. And it was the same Luma as the first one 9 weeks ago. It was another Luma Acronox.
Wow.
So
it said you can't get away from me. I'm joining your
way, and we're hoping the next one might be a Pyco.
Hey. For me this week, well, and I hope you do get a Luma Pyco. Pyco's super cute. For me this week, I played oh my gosh, I have to talk about last week. Last week's free 10 was 475 releases, and Tuesday my computer crashed and I had to fix it. So I didn't get the chance to do as much free 10 as I normally did, so I had to make it all up at the end of the week, which, Mr. Yaw, if you're listening, please do not do that to us ever again. 475 so much. But anyways, I was able to free Tim. I got a butt ton of money, and I've been wanting to start a PvP league. And finally, since I've been actually saving money, I can afford to start acquiring prizes and stuff for it and saving like money towards it. So we have news about that later in the show because I can finally afford to give out prizes for stuff.
Or be gifted prizes.
Yeah, shout out to Gaijin for that because we're definitely going to talk about that. It's in there. But also I started playing ladder more, and I finally TV trained up like a bunch of extra Tims. So I have like a variety of like new teams to use. And my goodness gracious, I've been killing it on ladder. I am at 1200 TMR currently. I don't know what my current TMR is at, but I broke the 1200 mark.
Yeah, congrats on that.
I got out of my slump and I'm playing decent again. 3 things, 3 notes, and then I'll pass it like over to you, Fonlin. The thing that I'm learning is a stupidly hard Temtem to play. Like a lot of the times you see him in a tournament and you're just like, oh, that guy's just winning because he's throwing out Nagai's and Nagai's is so strong. Yeah. It's not that easy to play around with Nagai's. Like I was losing super heavy with the Nagai's comp, and I finally had to take it off of my team because it just didn't fit my play style. Yeah. And I switched to an all tempo comp, and tempo is just the way to go. It's so much fun. And then the final thing I will say, oh, come on, brain, do the thinky think. I forgot. I'll come back to it later.
You're on a roll there.
All
right. And so you've been saving your money. You haven't been decorating your house yet, then.
I bought a plant. I have
a
table and a little bush thing.
Is there a good online resource? I assume there is by now, but maybe not. That compiles all the furniture online to look at by price. Like you just said, the wiki even, I suppose, have it.
I think the wiki does.
Like you can do like customization. Sure like I don't have to go run to each furniture store and look at all the different stuff. It'd be nice to just look at it all on a wiki. I'll have to check that out. So yeah, I got my house. I haven't actually built the house. I just got the plot. I need to build the house and actually start furnishing it. Eventually, I'll set up the TemTalk studio so we can record live in game there. But I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. I don't know how many paints it's going to cost me. Probably a lot more than I have. But
all the people Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, all the people listening live who listen on the Temporium channel have probably seen Rarzy's house. Rarzy runs the Temporium auctions.
Oh, yeah?
He has his entire house set up like an auction house. He has a desk in the front.
Oh, I love it.
Rows
That's
of
awesome.
chairs. People come in and vote, and then like the person who's trading it sitting up there too.
Oh, you know, I think
It's
I saw him doing that live. Was it him, or does Plus OP do the same thing, or that must have been him that I saw doing that? I saw the auction house on stream.
Rarzy. Plus just started back playing this week.
Yeah, I loved seeing the
Plus
actual
been moving, and finally, I think he might be moved in because he's streaming right now.
Yeah, but he's not streaming Temtem.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Every Temtem streamer is basically a Genshin Impact streamer at this point.
Yeah. Listen, I'd like
Plus is still gonna stream Temtem.
I choose to believe he just respected the TemTalk time slot and has decided not to compete in the Temtem category with us at this time
stop it.
slot.
We know that all 55 of his current viewers are Temtem viewers. Don't pretend.
Is this a picture of Rousey's house?
Yep, I posted it if you wanted to pull it up. So for anyone listening live, it's the picture I just described, and it's how Rarzy has his house
Those
set up.
chairs are not 6 feet apart.
Oh, no social distance.
And
no,
I don't see a mask being worn.
People in every other spot.
I love the art. I didn't know that you could have a little Temtem art on the wall. That's really cool. My other big news. This is old news now, so it's not even. It should be more emotional to talk about. But I ran from my third Luma. It happened. I did it a third time. I ran from a Luma Lapunite, but like 300 encounters later, I found another Luma Lapunite. Thank God, and that's why I have the Luma Zenroth on stream right now.
And how did the second reaction go, Vonlin? Because you did go a little extreme on your oh my God, I found a second Luma.
The
redemption.
Yeah, it's I reacted I was so happy. Kennedy was on
Vonlin. It seemed a little staged.
Oh, listen.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on stream, but weren't you like drinking pretty heavy that night?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say Kennedy was live on with me for all of this. Kennedy saw the full roller coaster of me run from a Luma, the despair, me start doing shots, and then the how excited I was when I actually found one.
I was live streaming myself, and I was like, the people who choose to watch me, I'm really thankful for, but my stream's normally really small. And it's just me and like a few people hanging out having a conversation. And like 3 people showed up into stream at the same time. And I was like, whoa, okay. And then somebody posted like, Vonlin ran from another Luma. And I was like, get out of here trolling me. And then another person did, like, Vonlin ran from a Luma. And I was like, no, he didn't. He'd post it in, the TemTalk if he did, or somebody would send me a clip. And nobody had a clip of it. And then another person came and was like, Vonlin ran from another Luma. I was like, let me call Vonlin and, get rid of all these trolls just jumping and ruining our conversation. And then I called Vonlin and I was just like, wait a second. Yeah. Oh, it was Talakai. Talakai was there.
Yeah.
And yeah, in chat.
No one clipped it. So as far as I'm concerned, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
What, you running?
Yeah, me running from.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
All you just go back to your previous VODs. They're saved for 14 days.
That will be gone soon enough. That'll be gone any day now, and there'll be no evidence of it. Listen,
there is no war in Boxing Say, Gaijin.
I was nice. I was really sad. I even told Kennedy. I said the one thing that'll make me the most mad about this are people are gonna claim that I did this on purpose. So I'm happy that I actually found a Luma Lapunite.
Don't pretend like you didn't do it on purpose.
Don't listen to this conspiracist theory wearing his tinfoil hat.
All for the views.
Zenrath is one of my favorite Temtem. It was the first Temtem I competitively trained, so I definitely wanted the Luma version of it.
Yeah, but you don't like Luma Zenrath nearly as much as you like Twitch views.
If it helped and resulted in an increase of Twitch views, maybe that argument could be valid, but it doesn't actually help with that. So, all right, that's everything on this section. Kennedy, we'll transition now. This is the Kennedy corner of the show, all about community events, tournaments, and PvP. So,
do you want to do the balance ideas, or do you want to do the tournament?
This whole thing, this is your section. However, you want to self-contain it within like 20 minutes or so total. You start wherever you want. And I'll pull up what you start talking about.
All right, so I'm gonna let you know, Vonlin. I'm gonna go long, but I'm gonna try and be super fast. So
Gaijin's gonna make fun of me, but I have to, as a boomer, you guys can see I'm drinking strawberry bubbly on stream, so I gotta go use the bathroom here in a second anyway. So I'm gonna do my usual dip out and dip back quick. But yeah, so
okay,
where do you want to start?
Can you pull up the balance changes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because yeah, we'll start there, and then I'll go into Club Wars,
Okay.
and then I'll go into the league.
All right, I got pulled up. You take it away, sir. I'll be right back.
All right. So for anybody watching, what happened this week, we had a bunch of patches we're going to talk about later in the show. The patches had balance updates. And if anybody remembers the TemTalk right before this balance update happened, it got spoiled to us, like kind of an idea of what the things were going to be. And we all on stream were just like, okay, what needs to happen with these changes? And we all kind of like fired off a few of like, oh, if this Tim's getting changed, this needs to happen. If this Tim's getting changed, this needs to happen. And for the most part, we were fairly correct on the changes that were coming. So that got me thinking of just like, oh man, the community's like, the devs in the community are kind of in the same line of thinking. So, if we were in charge of balancing this game, what would our balance changes look like? And then I made a huge document with like lots of people from my stream who were hanging out and talking. And we comprehensively went through like everything in the game as far as like battling's concerned and thought about what needs to be balanced, what needs to be changed or tweaked, and how we would change it. And we just made it as a list. So as the game is updated into the future, we can kind of look back at this list and kind of see where was our thinking and, where was the devs thinking. There's some really, really cool ideas in there. It's on the suggestion part of the forums if you want to go and look at it and read it. Or, comment anything that, if you didn't have the opportunity to contribute, you can go and contribute. From this discussion, one cool thing did come out. And this is personally for me. Q&A Angel responded to somebody talking on here who was thinking that the trait mirroring needs to be buffed. What mirroring does is whenever a Temtem with mirroring takes special damage, it reflects 25% of that special damage back at the attacker. And so if you hit a mirroring Temtem really, really hard, you still take a good little bit of damage from it. The issue with mirroring is there's two kind of design flaws with it. You want obviously your mirroring Tem to be hit a lot so it can keep reflecting damage a lot, which means you have to build it a little bulky. But the more bulky it gets, the more damage it reduces, the less damage it's reflecting back. Because the problem is if you one-shot or kill a Tim with mirroring, it doesn't deal any damage to the other Tim. And Q&A Angel said that that was reported as a bug, and they're investigating how to fix it, which, like, Pigapec was great because Fainted Curse dealt, 30 to 40% of the Tim's life who killed it. Having a mirroring Tim, you can swap into a Momo Undermine or a Hyperkinetic Strike and just straight die and deal 25% of, that HP back to the Momo or back to, the Bowlerin is kind of big. So if that gets fixed anytime soon, might be a big buff. Anyways, go check out the post. Got a lot of really cool stuff on it. There,
I'm just. Are you still going through the? Are you trying to transition? I'm just looking at you. Put a lot of stuff into here, man.
We went just through so many everything in the game. Every trait, every technique, every Temtem, every status. It's all there. All
Kitty
the
came
items.
from Gaijin.
Yeah.
So coming to this, give me the biggest, most urgent, or you think most highly recommended proposed change out of your list, whether it be a Temtem or a move.
The thing I think people like the most out of the list was
that's a good way to answer it.
Right now, Doom is in a really, really, really weird spot because Doom is a strategy that exists in game, and you can team build other strategies, but you're really de-incentivized more than any other strategy in the game to run Doom, more than anything, just because there is so much passively that gets added to the game to specifically counteract Doom that most of the time just randomly put together teams have a way of clearing out Doom and counterplaying Doom, which I think is incredibly healthy for the game because there needs to be lots of counterplay to Doom.
So
the problem is because
and the counterplay
there's so
to
much...
Doom, just to make sure I understand, is because it's so easy to put another status condition and supersede it.
Yeah, you can put 2 status conditions out, or there are like 3 items that stop Doom.
This made me think of something really weird. What if you think they just allowed more than 2 status conditions at a time? What if they increased it to 3?
I don't think that would solve.
No, I mean not even so. Just as a general balance change, not even just this Doom problem. Just in general, how do you feel about that?
That could be problematic, though.
Yeah,
because it adds a whole nother effect. Like,
yeah.
It could be a lot to deal with, and I don't know if that would... I think that might worsen a lot of situations.
With Doom or in general?
So, with multiple status conditions, the coolest thing I'll say about Temtem is that you can have 2, because Pokemon, you can only ever have 1.
Yeah.
Having 2 status conditions in Temtem is really, really cool and yields like a lot of fun strategies. So maybe 3, who knows, might be better, but I just honestly can't even think on that because it's hard for my brain to comprehend. Like coming over to comprehend Pokemon, 2 status conditions.
Do you overwrite statuses in Pokemon like you do in Temtem, or can you just not put on a new status? How does it work in Pokemon?
I'm fairly certain if a Pokemon has a status, it can't get another one. Like so if it's paralyzed, you can't burn it.
Yeah, so it works very, very differently then.
Yeah, and statuses in Pokemon are permanent except Freeze. Freeze and Sleep have a chance to wake up or become unfrozen.
I think doesn't Confusion have that chance too? That they can just not become confused anymore?
Oh yeah, but Confusion isn't really a status.
I was talking
about burn, freeze, frozen, poison.
Fair enough. You can
sleeping.
be confused.
The thing
and
where your
Confusion is a status in Pokemon.
Yeah, but it doesn't change the thing above your HP bar to say you have.
So you can be confused and burned.
Oh right, it just does the animation. So it says confused. Yeah.
Right.
But anyways, so a lot of people really like the idea I thought of for Doom because having lots of counterplay around Doom is good, but because there's so much counterplay, pretty much you have to be a madman or proddy to want to run Doom because it's the worst strategy to build your team around. Because if somebody counters Doom, you just lose and there's nothing you can do about it because your team doesn't deal damage. Yeah. So my idea for Doom was introducing another condition like alerted, that whenever Doom is pushed off of a Tem or is removed, at the end of all of the checks for everything, if it checks at the end of the turn, if Doom was removed, it adds a condition Traumatize for 2 turns, which was like, sleep and hit and alerted.
Yep.
And what Traumatize would do is while your Tim's traumatized, it can't be doomed again, but it loses percentage HP each turn to just kind of say like, you tried with the Doom, you didn't get it off, but here's a little couple ticks of damage so that you're not in the worst position possible. Because it's like, even Crystal Plume Gatling, your opponent swaps into an Earth Tim. They predicted your move, they counterplayed it, but you still get a little bit of damage onto that slot. But like with Doom, it's just like, okay, now it's my Doom turn. Oh, they counterplayed it. I literally get nothing. It's like what's the guy from Willy Wonka? It's like you get nothing. I said good day, sir. Get your Doom out of here. No, if our audience is young, they're probably not going to understand that reference.
They remade Willy Wonka. Is it in the remake?
I don't know. I honestly don't remember. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
I
remember Gene Wilder screaming like a cool person.
Tell us about the Academy rulebook and this whole stick.
Okay, I haven't did the tournaments yet, but yes. So I have been talking. I'm telling everybody I want to make a PvP league, and I want to start introducing new players who are interested in like getting into PvP, but that entry gate of knowledge is so high for them. I want to personally shepherd like 20 or so players into our competitive community and just into the Temtem community. So I came up with the Academy. I'm not going to go through every single thing here, but basically the way the Academy works is it is a PvP league specifically for new players. but more seasoned players can play too. There's going to be 2 tiers of play. There's going to be 2 leagues inside of the academy. There's going to be a professor league and there's going to be a student league. And the professors, you know, are going to be in their own tier, and then the students are going to be in their own tier. And there's basically requirements to be a student. And if you go above and beyond those requirements, you can't enter as a student. Like if you've won a tournament, or not if you've won a tournament, if you've placed high in a tournament, if you have high TMR, you can't be a student, but you can enter as a professor. And the idea is to teach a lesson about ideally competitive Temtem for like 20 minutes during a live stream, and then bring on a couple people and watch them battle on stream and kind of talk and do some coaching. And then at the end of the season, based on, you know, how everybody does, there are rewards for the people who participate. I am funding the rewards myself this season with a lot of help from Gaijin Boo in his community. So the rewards that I can afford right now, I'm going to do 300,000 Pan Suns out of my own pocket. And you guys both know that I've never had above 175,000 Pan Suns in this game. So that's that's telling people that this is gonna be a thing. 300,000 Pan Suns out of my pocket. And then I'm also going to give away 3 Lumas to the students who place the highest in the league. And then on top of all of that, the professors will have to pay an entry fee because they're more established players already. And so whatever we get in entry fees will also go to that prize pool. So ideally, like if everything goes according to my wildest dreams, ideally we can have like a 500K prize pool, and then we can have all of the Lumas to give away to the students who participate. So definitely like join some Temtem discords, comment in this video if you're interested. I'm going to be doing everything I can this week to reach out and find new players who are interested in this.
And if you guys are lucky, maybe Presby Kennedy can convince me to start casting.
Yes, that would be so flipping cool. I like the reason I want to do this, I want to grow our community. Like when you guys watch competitive events, every competitive event, you know, there's like 20 to 30 players signed up, and out of the 20 to 30 players that are there, it's about 60 to 70 players in our competitive community that show up and, you know, do all of these wonderful plays and all of these like really like they play the game that we love to watch and we love to enjoy. And just imagine if that pool of 60 players was 20 players bigger. If we could add a whole nother third of that pool of competitive players, of people that we enjoy playing this game with, that we enjoy watching, that we enjoy talking to, that are experimenting, finding new ideas.
What's happening here is Kennedy's trying to build a competitive agency where he owns all of the players in this agency, and they're required to give him 80% of their winnings every single time.
Go! And then I'll never be broke. Gaijin, don't call me out on stream.
But yeah, so I've got a couple of Lumas for you. I'm going to see if I can find anybody else that might be looking to help. With that, I have some competitive Tems that I can also donate to the cause, and I've got currently 40,000 Pan Suns I can also donate to the cause as well. So
I've been thinking about doing rental teams of like letting people who enter into the league just full out use like a whole team of already TV trained and stuff Tems, and that's like if you just say every Tim is worth 30,000 Pan Suns, or, you know, let's go cheaper, 20,000 Pan Suns, and then 5,000 more to TV train it. 8 Tims at 25,000 Pan Suns is what, 200,000? Yeah, like that's a really scary thing to just put into somebody's like hands of just like, oh, well,
you could ask for deposits, but new players can't really afford deposits.
Yeah, and it's something I keep going back and forth on, because it's like I want to make this as easy for new players to enter as possible, but then also I kind of, you know, don't want to just like give away everything on my account. So the other idea I've really been thinking about if we get a lot of donations, I kind of want to hire like just a whole set of TV trainers for the academy. Of like, if you enter into the academy, you get free TV training. Like not like as a new player or anything. Of like, if you participate, I've got people on deck that will TV train Tims for you. And I
make the
know that
professors
would
do
get
that. That
I
should
know
be
that
their
would
entry
get a
fee.
huge amount of like professional players that want to come in and join. Like, wait, I can get free TV training.
Cool.
I know that would
Very
get
cool.
Gaijin to play with freaking the 20 Tims he has waiting to be.
I've got like friggin' 30 competitive Tems
Hey,
sitting in my box, just waiting.
When's the Kennedy 4-hour stream TV training 8 Thames gonna happen? Because we're still waiting to see that happen.
You know what?
Mr.
Go
Bragger,
back
Bragger,
and look
Big
at
Promiser.
go back and look at my live streams and cut out all the time I stop to talk to chat.
No, that's
and,
not how it
add
works. You can't just
add it up. Add it up because I got tired of
what
waiting.
we can do is we can co-stream. I'll talk to chat for you while you focus.
Okay. I'm down.
Focus.
I'm down for this. And give me 8 Tims that need HP and attack.
I've got
That's fine.
8 Tems. I've got 8 Tems.
Let's
all
go.
need HP and
We're not
attack.
just talking HP and attack. That's not really TV training. That's just cheesing it.
No.
I was
we
saying
did-
500 HP or 500 special attack.
That wasn't
Okay,
a small
that
print.
is fair.
I told him even with that, you still can't do it. So let him do it. Let him do his 500 HP and 500 attack times
That's fair.
8 times.
You did say that, so
Yeah.
You still couldn't do it. You still couldn't do it in 4
All right.
hours 8 times.
Let's jump real quick to the tournaments.
Yeah, so let's move along. We gotta
league.
leave the room to talk about all the changes because I know there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So give me the fast move.
Fellow Tamers happened this weekend. Fellow Tamers, Vasi won the tournament. It was their Little Cup, and it was such a fun bracket to watch. Lots of people doing really fun things in the bracket, but it had the silliest, most I hate these rule sets like ever. When we ran the Texas Roadhouse tournament, we had lots of internal discussions about the rule set, and we've discussed this of item swapping and technique and trait swapping between matches, of letting, when you're doing a best of 3, letting the person change items, techniques, and traits. And it is just the most horrific thing ever, I guess, in competitive, because it just doesn't feel good, because it brings back RNG of just like, okay, like my opponent is now for some reason running a talisman on their Volarin, specifically to counter me running a Doom comp because they know I am a Doom player. And there's literally nothing I can now do against this person because, like, I have a name in the scene and they specifically actively built against me for this one specific match that isn't even a good strategy. And now I'm locked out of the finals and locked from going on. And it doesn't feel good. So I don't agree that item swaps or technique swaps or trait swaps should ever happen. And I don't agree that trait swaps should ever happen because trait swaps, trait swaps
as a one-off fun kooky tournament idea to change things up.
Yeah, trade swaps in a tournament favor the rich and wall out new players, because there are 4 different ways to run Volarin, and if you put one Volarin on your team and you allow trait swaps between matches, aerobic and anaerobic Volarin are completely different Tims, and then there's 2 different ways to build anaerobic and aerobic Volarin. So if you put one Tim on your team, you can swap essentially between 4 builds of a Temtem, and nobody has the money to, no newer players have the money to have 4 different Volarins ready to go on the spot. But the richer the player, the more specific they can build their team to counter.
You're getting real lost in your coverage of this tournament highlight.
Anyways, fellow Tamers put on an awesome tournament that sucked near the end. I hate item and technique swaps.
Harsh words.
I'll straight up say that. Like,
I really don't think that there should be anything that favors the rich in tournaments like that. Or, any tournament. Like, it should be equal.
I agree with you guys, but like once every couple of months, it's fun. I think it's fun to do something like this. It shouldn't be a normal thing, but it's like, hey, bring all your best gun, bring as many resources as possible.
For a cash tournament with $100 on the line, like, I don't know. I feel like for a Pansun tournament, maybe with like
If you're putting 100 of real money up on the line, then I say make the rules whatever you want it to be. If you're paying real money out to whoever wins your
So
tournament.
here's exactly what happened in that tournament. Prodi is a player who has been running Doom not for the meta because he enjoys it. And Prodi has innovated and perfected, well, not perfected, but has innovated and brought so much cool strategy to the way you can play Doom in a tournament and in this game in general. And he's one of the best players ever. And he has never gotten to the finals of any tournament, but he's placed higher than any other Doom player or Doom team has. And with the recent Pocus buffs this last patch, Prodi actually has like been not barred by barred from his strategy not being great, but has not gotten into the finals of some of these tournaments from just making like one or two like bad decisions and throwing a match. Like Prodi can actually win a tournament now with Doom, and he was tearing apart fellow tamers in the Little Cup, and he got queued into a match against a guy who put a chamomile on his team. There was one trait of there's one Temtem Volerin has a really hard time to remove Doom, and he put Talisman on Volerin. Nobody runs Talisman in this game for any reason.
All right,
You don't
I
even
get it.
use
You
Talisman on a Doom comp.
like Prodi lost to
Prodi
this Doom comp.
100% lost that match, and there was nothing he could do because his opponent specifically changed everything about their team to counter him out of that game, and that's not competitive.
See, I want to keep arguing with you because but I don't want to get sooner because that there is a being able to counter someone's team on the fly and then someone counter what you just did and counter back, and it's like you know what I mean, where they go back and forth forever. But I get what you're saying
and
too.
See, here's the thing: it's between matches they're able to do it. So
Right.
It's like Prodi gets his team countered. What's he do? He's got to play a best of 3 against a guy who
but Prodi should completely change his team then for the second match because the other person's gonna expect a Doom comp, and then Prodi just comes with someone that isn't Doom and blows them out of the water. They switch away from it, and he switches back to Doom.
If you're running 8 Tims built around a specific strategy, though, it's not like you can just change all of your Tims.
Yeah.
So what it does now, this is like discussion that deserves to be had. Yeah. Because what this does is it de-incentivizes unique team building ideas, because why would I run a strategy when my strategy can get countered, and why would I not just run aggro tempo? I mean, and I can change up my aggro tempo as needed
for this one tournament. But there's also people that can say, I want to bring a pool of 15 Tems that are flexible and going to be able to change out, and I can react.
When you go into a tournament, that's not generally how it works. Like, you don't generally have a pool of 15 things that you could swap in or out.
Yeah, so it's a type of tournament. I'm not saying it should be the main type of tournament or what they should dominate, but I think it's interesting that it exists as a way to compete in Temtem.
Yeah. Now, I do think there is a place for item swaps and technique swaps. I never trait swaps. Never, ever trait swaps.
Yeah, I mean, the trait swaps thing, that's weird. I agree with that.
I think there's a place for item and techniques. We just haven't found that answer as a community. If I was running a tournament where I allow it, I wouldn't allow it in the first place. But if I had to, the way I say it should be done is if you swap any items or techniques on your Tims, you can do it, but you have to tell the ref, and the ref gets to tell your opponent. So it's like, because there is a certain level of meta knowledge you have where it's just like most of the time Mascion runs energy drink, so I need to be playing like this. But it's just like, no, I'm putting Talisman on my Mascion to specifically counter you. And it's like, okay, now the opponent knows that you're doing that. You get the benefit of having the advantage of, countering your opponent's team. Your opponent gets the benefit of having the knowledge of where your items are placed. And I feel like that would kind of balance it out. But at this point, it's just like, oh man, Prodi wins here because he dooms the Volerin. Oh wait, who could have guessed the Volerin has Talisman? Why would you put Talisman on your... Oh, well, he did it to counter Prodi. Well, that's, the other guy's not playing better than Prodi here. He just has Talisman into a Doom comp. Well, I guess he just loses. That's that's just what it was. I literally closed stream. Like, it wasn't any skill I mean, I guess there's a level of skill to it, but it was just like, and that said, Vasi, or I think Trotter was playing that match. Trotter went on to get to the finals, and Vasi was in the finals, and they both played a really good match. So it was fun. It was fun to watch. Anyways, I'll get off my high horse and stop yelling about items and technique swaps. Let this part of our community die. Let's no more item swaps, please. Anybody?
That part of the community that enjoys the people that enjoy this type of format, don't worry, I'm out there for you. Keep having fun doing it. And if and if Prodigy's unhappy, whatever. We'll leave it alone. Let's talk about our main topic. We got a lot of big updates in Temtem we haven't been able to really get into. So let's do that now, shall we?
A lot of big updates.
Well, a lot of updates in one big update. A lot of balance changes. So
yeah. Big old balance patch and 2 bug fixing patches.
Yeah, and they it wasn't a patch, but they made there was 0.69, which was the big patch, and they made a post just about the update, and then there was actually patch 6.10 and 6.11 with bug fixes. So I mean, most of this news is focused on 6.9 and the changes here, and they talk about it in their own article on the website. But of course, if you're living under a rock and aren't playing Temtem regularly, or someone that just maybe likes listening to the podcast and is following Temtem from afar, they added the player housing. And I'll just quickly summarize through this bit. They say you can now own and decorate your own house on a toll row. In order to get a house, you need to do a quest and pay a fee. It's 30,000 Pansuns. And it's cool. Can we talk about the mechanic of the housing being infinite? I don't know if I complete. That's the concept, right? Is that you could in theory you could run. So they're not instancing. I mean, they've kind of instanced the houses, but they haven't. You can teleport to where your house is in a toll roll, or you can walk in the front of a toll roll and, in theory, walk far enough to eventually get to your house.
Vonlin, a toll row.
Yes,
a toll roll.
A toll roll. I'm gonna struggle with this one. It's gonna be a rough one.
It's a toll row.
I like that idea. When Muzz jumped into my stream and she told me how the housing worked.
Yeah.
And when I found out, I was like, snap, I got to get my housing as soon as I can to get as close to the devs as possible so I can go pester them or something. And I'm only like 20 lots off. I was up at about 4 a.m. that morning playing. And
are you 20 lots up from the front?
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
I think I'm in W2. Like, so I'm like 1 row over and then down in W, or I might be 2 or 3 rows over. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
hold on. I can look now. Oh no, because it's all the way on the other side of the world. I'm not leaving this cave.
So, I haven't decorated my house much. Ken, I know you have. Gaijin, have you started putting stuff in your house yet, or not really? You said you were trying to make money for it.
I started. Well, I got a bunch of stuff gifted to me, so I started to put some furniture in and stuff. It's nowhere near done. It's not even close to done. I just started dropping some stuff down. It's super cool. I gotta say, the way they have like the ability to edit the house is really nice. Like, it's really well designed. I think they did a fantastic job with that. And like the whole thing that you guys are talking about, the infinite housing, that's crazy. I'm like, how far does it go? Because I'm like running, just running, and I'm like, how far does it go?
I saw the best
meme.
It
doesn't stop
about the running, where someone was like, Yas said there's a Telmore hack at the end, and it's like a meme of someone just like running and sweating like infinitely, trying to get to where the last house is.
I could see doing that.
Which I really like that rumor myth. I want to perpetuate that. Yeah, if you can run to the very end of it, you'll get a free Telmore hack. I swear. Get going. Get out there.
Yeah, the really cool thing about this patch was, for me, was seeing they put out housing, and the first thing I did on stream, after I played through the Kill 'em the Peaks, I went and got my house, and I was like, all right, everybody, let's go look at the devs' houses. And only one of the devs' houses was like super pimped out. And I was like, look, these jokingly, I was like, look, these garbage devs. And then the next day, like all of the devs put out like their housing and their designs. I was like, these look super
on Twitter, dope. Yeah. I don't know the mechanics of the housing that well. Can can you go into anyone's house? Is there like restriction settings that you can put?
anybody's.
Nobody can stop you. You can go into any house.
Wow. So
Yeah, like right now, I'm just hanging out in Graceful Klutz's house, just jumping on the bed, sitting on the furniture, watching the TV.
but that's cool. So like even though like players that you aren't friends with, you can just walk in, go through the lots, and go into random houses and look at them inside.
Yeah.
That's
Anybody's.
so cool.
I like that feature, but I can also understand why some people might be like, oh, I want to be able to lock my house up or decide who gets
Yeah.
to go in.
Will Wisp commented in chat crime table during my live stream. They gave me a table for free, and I was like, "Well, this will be where I sit around and plot crimes."
What's like your heist room from GTA?
Yeah, to commit around the archipelago.
That's
Right now the only crime we can do is go and aggressively dance in other people's houses, but I like it.
From a game design perspective, I can't think of another MMO that has housing like that, where you, in theory, can get into any other player's house.
Yeah, y'all did say he feels Temtem has a unique aspect for its housing.
No, I think that's really unique. It's kind of, they put their own little spin on housing, which is a hard thing that I would have said. I would have told you would have been hard to do. If you said, "Oh, we're putting player housing," our game was like, "Okay, you and a bunch of other MMOs, like there won't be anything unique about it." But they found some, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think they did a fantastic job with the creation, and I'm glad they took their time with it. I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you guys are taking forever."
Yeah.
But I mean, I think they did a really good job with it, and you're
It's
right.
not
It
even
is hard to put like your own spin on creating housing, but I feel like they made it very unique to Temtem. Like it feels like a very fluid feature of the game. Like it just feels like it's from Temtem. It's exactly how it should be. It just feels good.
Yeah. Well, and people were gonna complain about the timeline no matter how quickly they did it.
I mean, it could have came out
Regardless.
one day late and people
Right.
would still complain.
Right,
It could come out
exactly.
on the actual day it was supposed to, and people might still
But like,
complain.
why didn't we get this earlier? Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. You guys get anything else on housing? Otherwise, we'll keep moving through.
I mean, there's a lot of balance changes in this patch. Let's keep going.
So the other new content is they added the peaks that you can go up to in the glacier, and of course you can catch Momo got added to Tempedia, and you can catch Momo and Yowler. There's a lot of excitement online in the community to catch Momos. I feel and hunt Luma Momos, and I've never seen the community more excited about one specific Tem. I don't think. I don't know.
Were you aware? Were you aware Momo has a fun button?
No, go on.
So for anybody listening, Momo gets access to an ability called Stab Master, which if it attacks with a same type of technique, the same type technique bonus is increased to by an additional 50%. So you get 50% from the same type bonus, and then you get another 50% from Stab Master. And then you can give Momo a item called Resistance Badge, which increases the damage it deals with neutral moves by 15%. Then it also gets another move called Undermine that's like base 170 or 140 damage. That's a neutral type move. And so what all of these bonuses add up to, Momo has a attack called Undermine that it can do once every other turn that essentially has the base damage of like 317 base damage. And there are very few things in the game it doesn't one shot. And
it's so ridiculous that like Stab Master is essentially just it's effectively giving it 2 times damage to basically everything.
Yeah.
Because it the only thing that's resistant to mental, I mean to neutral, is mental. So like, you know, everything is like, even if you're neutral damage, surprise baby, 2x.
Yeah, it's not silly, Gaijin. It's a fun button. You get to have fun once every other turn.
Does it
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead with your train of thought.
Oh, I was just gonna say it's kind of balanced in that Momo doesn't have any really good turn 1 options, so you kind of have to swap it in. But it's still just it's just so crazy the amount of damage that Tim is able to do.
I was gonna say, with its other technique, do you think are people trying to do freeze shenanigans with its other trait?
No, so in the community balance changes, that's one thing we addressed. There's no reason to ever snowstorm even on a freeze team.
Really? I feel like it'd be such a quick way to freeze an enemy team.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, it only applies cold if they don't have cold already. It only applies once per match. And then anytime you're running Snowstorm, you're not running Stab Master. And it's like, what is your Momo doing if it's not one-shotting?
There's no there's no sneaky gotcha moment where you could cast Cold Breeze with one time and swap to Momo at the same time, and your opponent who thought they had 2 turns to avoid the freeze is suddenly frozen. It's not good enough, you don't think?
It affects your own team though too, right? Unless you're using Yowler.
It does, and I don't think it's worth it though, because it's like, yes, those moments exist, Fallen, where you can be like, ha, gotcha. Right. But because it's 2 turns of freeze, and it applies the cold only if they don't have the cold, and so the freeze is based on how many cold conditions they have.
Right.
The max ever freeze you can get from it is 1 effective turn.
Oh,
so it's like
that makes
cold
sense.
Breeze. It's frozen. It's frozen for 1 turn. The next turn it's unfrozen. And then your Momo has no technique.
It should put cold
and you
duration
undermine
for longer.
your next turn. Without Stab Master, and your Momo is just useless.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Snowstorm and a free Tem capacity? Do you think it could prove to be more useful or not so much?
Have you guys used it? How do you guys
feel
about it?
It's the same problem.
So I currently have a Momo that has. I have two Momos that have Snowstorm, but I haven't actually leveled them, obviously, because I don't even have Tems that could actually properly take down either of those 2 new shrines. So I haven't really used it, but I feel like it could be usable because it leaves your Momo up to still do some damage, so you can actually get in, the cold and then some damage and freeze one turn 1, which I think is pretty cool. Or even freeze Cage if you run Momo and Moflank with Hurry Wart.
Day 1 I was using Moflank, Momo, like Hurry Wart, Cage, and just throwing cards. Is like, maybe it's quicker if I don't have to click any moves and do less animations. And I just felt like I was losing so many card captures for it that I didn't feel it was worth. But there are always people who go and do the free Tem numbers who will do it for hours on end.
There'll be a table eventually about this.
Yeah, I didn't have the time, nor was I interested enough to sit down and test out what the numbers are. So I'd be very interested to see, because I had the same thought too, Gaijin.
I do have to say I did find a pretty effective technique for farming Yowlers though. Because if you go into the area where Yowler is with a Kinu and a is it Kinu Moflank Grace? Because you can, if you beta burst the Yowler, it does the perfect amount of damage with a level 58 TV trained Kinu to Yowler that it's right in the catch zone. And then you cage it after hypnosis. Boom, easy catch.
Okay, because I was trying to find what was the best way to free Tim in that cave. The issue I kept getting into was stupid Mudrids kept Crystal attacking my Kinu. It's just stop.
Can't you use Lure on the alternate Tem?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I should have did. I wasn't paying much attention. I was chatting to stream for most of that morning.
But yeah, it worked. If you just run from everything else and you just go for Yowlers, it's super good for catching Yowlers. Just beta burst turn 1, and then you hypno cage, boom, caught.
All right, I'll try it out.
Let's keep moving through the patch here. Before we get to the balance changes, some improvements they did. This is people have been asking for this. It's not exactly what people want, but they did include a new evolution cancel method. From now on, apart from holding the button, pressing it 3 times will cancel the evolution as well. A visual indicator has been added, and the back button, escape on a keyboard, right click on a mouse, and B on an Xbox controller can now also be used to cancel evolution. So it made it a little bit easier.
Are we sure about the Xbox controller function? Because last I checked, every update, they seem to break controller a little bit.
What people really want an Everstone type of gear item or something, or a setting to say don't evolve ever.
Damn, I was sorry. I just got into my first encounter on Genki's with Momo Snowstorm out, and it just immediately froze.
Oh yeah, they have cold nature.
Yeah, I forgot about cold nature.
Oh, maybe that might be the new free Tem thing.
That's
just
funny.
because there is 100% Genki grass and just
The Genkies might not. I guess
just throwing out all
for
the stuff, all
catches
the
and
cards.
releases, it'd be fast, but the Genkies are too low level to be worth very good Pansuns per hour.
Yeah, Pansun wise, it's not going to be a good.
But if you just
trade-off
want the
for
release
sure.
numbers, the breeding center is improved. It is now bigger with more Tem decks and can accommodate more tamers.
It's insane.
I'll go check that out on stream here in a second.
I the first time I walked in there, I was like I'm walking by it, and people on stream are like, go in, and I'm like, what? It's not like they made it different. And then I go in, and I'm like, holy crap, they made it different.
I haven't looked at
so
it. I'll go do it right now. You can get my first impression.
It's funny
Have
though
you never
because
been in there?
Not
close
since
my
they
window.
changed it. No,
I think you're a liar.
I haven't been there since they changed it. I'll go check it out.
You're gonna go in there. You've already been in there, but you're gonna go in and you're gonna pretend like you've never been in there.
Always never believing my Twitch reactions genuine.
You're talking about tinfoil hats all the time, Illuminati confirmed. So I'm just your
just
your
living into the
tinfoil hat.
conspiracies. Yeah, leaning into
Yeah.
them. Other improvements, they reduced the price on all Weakner fruits and the relative candies, so you can remove TVs cheaper. Now just make it cheaper
add
to
them.
TV train on the other fruits too, please. The enhancer fruits and candies.
Didn't they? Didn't they?
Now they just, according to this patch note, it's just reduced the price on the Weakner side.
Kennedy, is it just the Weakner fruits?
They didn't
candies?
discount the enhancer fruits, is my understanding.
It's the fruits and the candies, but I think it's just the Weakners.
Yeah, just the Weakners, yeah. But still, it's halfway nice what I did. Now the egg currently placed in the incubator bag appears in the player's tamer info. That's nothing else too exciting. That's all the big stuff. So let's jump into what really the big meaty part of this and the balance changes. So I don't know, Kennedy, if you guys maybe we want to just pick, I'm not gonna read through all of these stat changes. There was a plethora of stat adjustments. Let's maybe pick some of the more interesting changes out of this.
Okay.
Anywhere particular you want to start?
We're in 0.6.
I'll just say this I'll just throw all right. I love that Calibus has new traits. I love the new Calibus traits. I love that Calibus doesn't have negative traits anymore. The new Toxic Skin and Mucus. So I'm excited about that.
Damn, Golder got a hefty buff.
Can you guys hear me? I had my microphone muted.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Cool beans. Yeah, go ahead, Gaijin.
I just saw that that Golder buff there. That's pretty big. Increasing the base HP, the defense, and the
Very
special
tanky.
defense.
Very tanky.
Like making it definitely a bit more tanky.
I mean,
I noticed a lot of people have been using Golder with Nagai's. Does this make it like an even better combo for those two?
oh, for sure, because they didn't increase its speed at all. So it's just
No,
Yeah,
well,
thank you.
I love that when Blues evolves to Golder, its speed just actually drops. Like that's so
Because it gets bigger. That's very thematic.
I would say like yes, it is a buff, but I actually think we've seen less Golder Nagais just because tempo got so good this patch. Like there are two things right at the top of this list that are my favorite things to come out of this patch. Kapire got a move called Quetzalino, and Raiken got a move called Quetzalino. It's a 110 base damage fire move that can synergize with a neutral Tem to increase to 3 priority and 115 base damage. No hold. Lot Raikens and Kapires have been running away with games.
What priority is it? Is it 3 arrows or 3 arrow plus priority that it moves up to?
Three arrows.
Wow.
3 arrows.
Jeez, that's good though.
I feel like Kapire never really got enough play, honestly. Like I felt like I didn't see it as much. I feel like people just went for Raikan and over it 99% of the time.
Who was using a Kapire before it was cool? There was I think
Willow?
Turby was using. Well, yeah, Willow too. I was talking about in tournaments. I think Turby was using a Kapire, and there was another player that had like Chinese names for all of their Tims. Their name is slipping from my head, and I think they used a Kapire too. But yeah, Kapire was just on the edge of being good, and Raiken too was also just on the edge of being good, and this was like everything they needed. Raiken is such a serious threat right now, and so is Kapire. So it's great that they're seeing play. My favorite change about this patch, you already guessed it. Pocus, increased special attack by 10, increased base HP by 5. Let's go. Let's go.
It definitely needed that buff. I mean, I'm a huge Pocus fan. Pocus has always been one of my like top favorite Tems, so I'm glad to see it get a bit of a buff there, honestly.
Zyzer, that's a huge increase in attack from 70 to 90. 20.
I just wish they would add the but Zizer's still useless except for like 2 turn, and then after that it's not much use.
I am building a really silly Zizer team. We can talk about it on the show.
Okay. But yeah, Zizer doesn't really seem to be super useful, even with that buff at this point. Oh god, what was I gonna say? What were you just talking about, Kennedy?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Focus.
Oh yeah, now they just need to add melee typing to Pocus, and we'll be good.
Focus? Mental melee?
Mental melee would be dope.
What would its weakness be? Crystal? No. Electric would be the only thing that's weak again. Wait, and mental. Electric and mental.
Well, it'd be neutral to mental. Oh no!
No, mental Tim's
already mental.
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
neutrally.
Never mind.
That'd be kind of cool. I don't know how I feel about it. Just give us a different mental melee Tim. I really like where Pocus is at right now.
Yeah,
Pocus stands like a melee type. Pocus attacks like a melee type,
and it has a physical build. Ninjutsu
runs like a melee type. Like it's very obviously meant to be melee. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it is like a little mental ninja thing. Muzz said in chat 4 times weak to digital. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a pretty big negative once all the Digitems are out.
Yeah.
Fluffy losing drought, does that really matter at all for Fluffy being any
I don't think that mattered much, except for just cheese strategy and making Burglar maybe just a tiny bit better.
What about Noxolotl gaining brace? I don't even know what brace does. What is brace?
If a Tim has alert, it and it uses brace, it gains evasion for like 3 turns, I think. The issue with lookout or brace is it takes a whole slot. Like, so now your Noxolotl, it's like your Noxolotl hypnosis, narcoleptic hit, toxic ink, and then the big old poopy poop poison gas move. I forget, it's a toxic vomit, I think is what it's called. And then you could afford to drop hypnosis for madness buff. Like, imagine any of those 5 moves replacing them for evasion if you have alert. Like, that's, to me, that's not good.
Yeah, no, it's very not gonna come up that much. Man, I didn't realize there's a big balance, and there's so many notes in these patches. Just the techniques go on, and then there's all the traits, and then a bajillion fixes, of course. But what about the technique changes? I haven't even really looked at the technique changes that closely. Bush regenerating from 2 to 1. They're really trying to make Fluffy not be too good.
Yeah, I feel like it was all of the nerfs to Volphy, which were just, Bush and Drought mostly, were good. Like, Volphy is still great, and it doesn't, feel like, oh man, Volphy got through. I guess I just take a bajillion damage from this Tim until I can hook kick it.
They did buff Drought. Priority is now up to very high from low. That's one taken away from Fluffy.
Yeah, because Volphy, like, 99.9% of the time runs handcuffs, so that would just essentially be a cage and, and exhaustion at the same time.
Is Magma Cannon getting used yet? That's the TM that you get for
Magma Cannon's still garbage.
Really? That sucks.
At it.
I want it to be good on Anna here just for PvE. Like,
the problem with Magma Cannon is it's 2 hold. So, like, you have to wait 3 effective turns to use it.
It's a lot better than 3 hold.
Yeah, but it's still low priority. So it's like not only look at the Tims that get Magma Cannon. It's like Drakash, Anahir, and there's like one other Tim that gets it. It's not Raiken. I'll think of it later. But the none of those Tims are living 3 turns to use Magma Cannon.
Yeah.
If anybody sees a Anahir swap in, Anahir swaps in, it heats up, and then it does its like big either mineral hail or meteor swarm. And if that in that time you don't switch to a fire Tim or a earth Tim and you freaking beat that thing out of the field.
Funny that you mentioned.
Like, what are you doing with your life?
Both those moves also buffed. Meteor swarm damage increase.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, what the heck is mineral hail? I don't think I've ever seen anyone use mineral hail. But to be fair, I've not watched a ton of competitive, so I don't really have much to say.
It's Anahir's special move. It attacks the whole team for crystal damage.
Really? It's an Anahir?
You know who doesn't care about Anahir whatsoever?
PvPers?
Because no, Anahir always runs all of its attacking moves hit the entire team, and Volphy has team elusive and it can't be hit by Anahir. So
does Anahir get played competitive at all?
Anahir got ran in the Roadhouse. 2 people used it. Like, there were actually 2 people playing serious teams with Anahir. I haven't seen it much lately, though. It's like, why would you run Anahir when Raiken exists? Like, Quetzalino Raiken. Oh my goodness gracious, it's so good.
Yeah, like let's use a 4x weak Tem versus a 2x weak.
Well,
it
is
just
this
doesn't make a ton of sense?
Let me ask
That's
the
biggest
Calibus
problem with Magma Cannon is that just the Tims that have it can't live long enough to use it on low priority.
Calibus got its negative traits removed. I think Anahir is the only Tem left with negative traits. Maybe Anahir can get new traits and get some positive traits, bring it back up. I'd like to see that. I don't like the negative traits thing.
I don't know. Last time y'all was in chat, before the Q&A Angel one, said he was gonna nerf Anahir. So
did he really?
Q Angel.
I think he was just joking, but yeah,
not Q and Angel.
Oh yeah, Q Angel might be.
Tortnight's Garden increased from 8 to 10%. Synergy healing increased from 16 to 20%.
You know, there are actual Tortnite like main players out there, people who like, you know, Tortnite's their signature Tim, and I have so much respect for them.
Good for them. Tortnite's sweet. Plus,
it is not an easy Tim to play, and it honestly, I don't think it's that good, but some people make it work.
This is a callback to a previous episode. I was trying to talk about some fan art of Tortnite, and there was the Pokemon episode called Venusaur's Garden, and I just put it all together, and I was like, I feel like this is an allusion to that, and they have a move literally called Tortnite's Garden, so Krima definitely remembers that comparison if they named a move after it. I'm really happy to see that.
I feel like they do make references to Pokemon jokingly, tongue-in-cheek. Like, Zazair is kind of the Onyx of this game, and it has electric synthesized, so it can never lose to an electric Tim.
Yeah. Oh,
did you guys?
That's funny. I never thought about that one.
Realized?
What's that?
Zazair is an earthworm. It's an earthworm.
That's pretty funny too.
Yeah, it is an earthworm, but
That's pretty funny.
I say it's more reptilian to me in theme, because Piercing Wheel, it's got like all the little spiky spikes on the back. It reminds me of like almost like a Chinese stringy string dragon.
If I ever get a Luma, I'm gonna name it Jim.
My Zazair is named Trash Snake.
Trash Snake. Don't tell Blank that. Blank will fight you.
Yeah, I love it though. I'm building a team around it. I'm gonna ideally play this week.
What about any big trait changes? The biggest thing I saw was the Protector buff on Kinu. Holder now loses 10% of their max HP every time the trait is triggered, but Baton Pass counteracts that. You were explaining to me, so it's kind of makes Kinu worse, but not that much worse, right?
Yeah, I'm holding my breath on it to see how it does. I think actually kind of good. It definitely puts Kinu in a much more like pleasant spot of balance of if you don't run Baton Pass, there's a limited amount of usage you get from your Kinu. But we saw this past weekend in Club Wars with I think it was PDX versus Exotic French, Neko Blocky not running baton pass and literally getting so much value out of her Kinu. She killed her own Kinu,
Really?
swapping it in and out, in and
What
out,
item was
in
she
and out,
running
in
instead?
and
Do you
out.
remember?
I don't actually. It might have been snare or it might have been grease. But I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm holding my breath to see how that change affects Kinu. I think, for me personally, the biggest changes traits this patch. Spreader 2Kai got a lot better in PvE, and Rejuvenate for Pocus up from 15% to 20% healing. Pocus is like through the roof now.
How does that trait work?
Viable.
I was thinking of the move, but that's not talking about the move. It's talking about the trait.
Yeah, Rejuvenate. Whenever a Tim with Rejuvenate hits with or attacks with a physical move. Oh no, hits with a physical move. It heals the Tim that used the physical move for 20%.
So now it heals by 20% instead of 15%.
Yes.
What about the Noxolotl buff to Trance? Regeneration increased from 2 to 3. I don't know. Is that enough? Probably not.
What Tim are you talking about? I don't think Noxolotl is a real Temtem anymore.
Like, I was generally confused for a second there.
Yeah, I don't think Nox is gonna see much more play. I ran into somebody on ladder Noxolotl and they triggered trance on me, and I was like, "Well, your Tim's sleeping. I'll kill it next turn." And then, I killed it next turn.
Spoiler alert. Oh, I didn't realize they buffed Baton Pass. I didn't realize it only did 8% previous to this. So they I wonder if that was intentional. If they were planning that to counter set the Kinu change, or just happenstance.
First you question Shoeing, then you insult Noxolotl as he was watching the stream. Club Wars, I said the same thing about Shoeing. One player brought a Shoeing like seriously to Club Wars and won a couple games with it. And I was just like, I was co-casting with Rishi. I was like, Rishi, what's going on with this dude's team? He's only got 7 Tims. How did he queue into competitive with 7 Tims? He's like, what are you talking about? There's Oh, I get it.
Seriously, Rosie, what's next? Is he gonna go and trash talk Lawali?
Oh, God.
No, Luwali's too good. I'll never say that. God, Luwali's good.
You guys got anything else for the patch here before we wrap it up and move along?
Vonlin.
Final thoughts?
Vonlin. I want you to look at the gear, and look at the gear on stream, and I'm not gonna say anything. You have a 50% chance to guess this right. This has been the most crazy change to Temtem that's made so many Tims more viable and so many more strategies viable. One of these 2 gear pieces has fundamentally changed the way competitive works. You got a 50% chance to guess it.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Chamomile because I don't think Baton Pass could have done that. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes. Oh my gosh. Putting chamomile on Tim's, it's been crazy this week. It's been so much fun watching all of the chamomile strategies pop up.
Make him tell us why, Rosie says.
Okay.
Rosie says why.
Yeah,
we don't have a good week, everyone. It's been fun. We'll see you next week at TemTalk 35. No, I have no idea. I mean, I can speculate why, but it was just a shot in the dark, guys. No, we are sincerely over time though, or not over, but we're so moving along to our plugs before.
What do you mean?
30.
It's not 12:30 yet.
Yeah, not 12:30. You're trying to go real late.
I mean, well, it's not 12:30 for me yet, which is an hour away.
Vonlin, we still missed 2 bug fixing patches. I'm kidding.
Oh yeah, you're
but
right. There was 2 more patches. There's any big fixes worth calling out? If there is, by all means, we'll mention them quick. Momo's female ratio was fixed. It was 10% and now it's 90%.
Yeah, Nagai's was also bugged for 5 days or 4 days, so it was really fun playing on ladder, not having to queue into Nagai's. But otherwise, that got fixed, so pretty much the Nagai's teams are back, but also Nagai's isn't super amazing right now. It's okay. It's still strong.
Okay, I was gonna say, I remember that was the biggest deal ever when the Deceit Aura came out.
Yeah. It's still strong. I just feel straight tempo's better right now.
Kenny, why don't you let people know where people find more of you on the interwebs?
Okay. If you're watching TemTalk, look at how my name's spelled. I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube, and I'm on Twitter at that tag Presby Kennedy. I live stream on Twitch, and I upload videos on YouTube, but I now 100% live stream on Twitch. I started live streaming D&D on Twitch. Just look, at Presby Kennedy.
Did you make the switch?
I updated to 2017
Really?
or 2020.
What was that because you started Twitch streaming, so you realized you wanted to do it on one platform, or what initiated that change?
The more I learned about Twitch, the more I learned that YouTube is a really, really dumb platform for live streaming.
Okay.
Like, you have to beat the algorithm, and anytime a platform actively works against you to like not show your content to people, like you shouldn't. It's like, okay, how can I work around this algorithm and get this algorithm to prioritize my content? Because there's things YouTube does to push your videos down, specifically if you're live streaming and if you're not doing things in like a set way. Whereas Twitch, it's so easy to find the content you want to engage with.
Really, it pushes them down if certain things aren't happening.
Yeah, so YouTube likes it when you upload videos, and it hates it when you live stream. So if you notice in your recommended feed, it always recommends videos that have been uploaded, but it never recommends a recording of a live stream.
Interesting. Okay.
So if I upload my live streams to YouTube, they get recommended more often than if I live stream on YouTube.
I see.
Where it's just like, why not just go to the platform that wants people to see my content?
I just learned, I don't know if you guys know, that YouTube is adding or has added or is in the process of adding premium subscriptions, which are basically Twitch subs. Were you guys aware of this? I just learned about it literally a couple hours before the show.
I wasn't. I remember YouTube or YouTube TV, but
people can pay like $5 to a YouTube channel that streams now, and and it's just like a Twitch, same thing as a Twitch sub. So it's interesting to see him copying Twitch in that. Anyway, sorry, rabbit hole, getting distracted. Guys, what about yourself? Where can people find more of you?
Currently, I'm banned in Temporium GG chat, so nowhere.
Good job, whoever did that.
That was me. Nightbot. Nightbot thinks it has power over me. You don't control me.
Good bot. Good bot. Good robot.
You guys can all find me at It's Gaijinbu. ITSGAIJINBUU. I am on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and I now have a Snapchat, which I mostly use for this cat.
I was gonna say.
So if you guys want to, she heard me talking. Now she's over here. If you guys want to see a bunch of pictures of this cat or listen to her snore, that's where you can find it. But yeah, it's Gaijinbu everywhere, literally everywhere. Don't walk on the keyboard, cat.
That's classic cat behavior. You can't ask him to not do that.
I know. She wants to say hi to everybody because she's apparently now the most important part of my stream.
Well, let's
be real.
That's true.
Kisia or Kisa, is that how you say the name?
Yeah,
Kisa. Featuring It's Gaijinbu.
That's literally my stream alert is something along those lines about I'm just a sidekick to Tormund.
Anime Fruits Basket.
Ooh, okay.
Have you ever watched that one, Kennedy?
I haven't watched it. I was really into a manga called Negima, and people kept recommending that I read Fruit Basket.
Do it.
All right, you can find me, Vonlin, twitch.tv/Vonlin. I play Temtem Tuesdays and Thursday nights right now. I changed my schedule to avoid streaming when Plus OP plays Temtem. And you can find past episodes of TemTalk on YouTube or on a mobile device if you just search Temtem in any podcast app. Otherwise on YouTube, youtube.com/c/TemTalk. Otherwise, we do these shows live, 8:30 p.m. Central every Monday night, unless we did a game dev interview on the weekend before, of course. So that's that. Turn 30. Kennedy, you have something very excited for Turn 30. We're talking about something outside of the world of Temtem for our last couple of minutes.
Do you want to play a sound clip, or you want me to just
I'm out of sound clips. So sure. We can do some Wimplumps.
Okay.
This is the Ceterius, I think. There you go.
All right. Minecraft Live was this past weekend. If you're listening to this episode, on the 5th or 6th. And what the Minecraft team does every year, they have Minecon, which they announce, all the coming features to Minecraft and all the coming features to their products. But because of COVID, they had to go all online. So this year it was all live streamed, and they did it as Minecraft Live, and they announced all of the cool new features. And if people probably don't know this about me, but I'm a big Minecraft fan. Whenever I get really stressed out in life, I just take some time off and I just play Minecraft straight for like 2 weeks and just like passively build. And I am so excited about the new update. It's the Caves and Cliffs update. And I put in our notes like 3 things that I was most excited about. So there's this logic system in Minecraft called Redstone where you can build really cool machines that work on like.
If we have a listener who doesn't know what Redstone is in Minecraft, I'd be amazed. But go on.
Yeah, well, yeah. So it's basically electricity in Minecraft, and you can do stuff with it. There was ways to make wireless redstone builds already, but you had to do so many wonkadelic things with wolves and pufferfish in order to get like wireless redstone. They are adding a whole block dedicated to wireless redstone machines. So the things you're going to be able to build are going to be really cool. The next thing that I think is really cool is they're changing how terrain generates. Obviously, mountains are going to be bigger, but the way caves spawn, there's a passive water level in the world, and if things kind of like interfere in that water level, they get flooded. Now there's going to be a local water level, so like different caves can have like an underground lake. Or you can have like underground pools, and different things are going to be like at different water levels, which I think is really cool. And then there's so much stuff in Minecraft now. There's like bajillions and bajillions of blocks that pretty much if you play, your inventory just gets cluttered with like garbage. And they are adding new items to the game where you can bundle together different unique items into like stuff to just better sort your inventory. I think this next expansion is like one of the biggest, most ambitious ones they've done. And it was so cool to watch it announced. And I highly suggest just going and looking at anybody's live stream who, covered it, or any of the YouTube videos talking about the features.
You talked about your 2 weeks playing Minecraft sometimes a de-stressor. Do you always play vanilla? Have you ever dipped your foot in the world of modded Minecraft?
Willow consistently convinces me to try out different mod packs. She loves mod packs. I myself, I don't know. There's just something so pleasant and calming about vanilla Minecraft.
Yeah.
Where it's just like I get to build a farm. I get to get a bunch of items. Like my brain does the good of just like, look at all this stuff I have. And then I build a house, and I'm just like, look at my house, and then I feel good. So I don't like modded that much, but I always play when Willow asks me to.
I love me some modded Minecraft. Cool. My friends love going deep. They go really deep into really like big mod packs.
I go really deep, and by really deep, I mean whenever I play Minecraft, the only thing I do is dig really deep holes and intricate tunnels, and then fill them with TNT to see how big of a hole I can make in the ground.
I like it.
That's it. That is the extent of my creativity.
Have you ever played?
That's actually funny. That kind of makes sense. What, Kennedy?
Have you ever played RL Craft?
The name isn't ringing a bell. What does it do?
Okay. It's real life craft. It aims to make Minecraft more realistic.
Okay.
And the mod pack is so incredibly difficult. Like everything in the mod pack is about making Minecraft very hard, and it's insane, and it makes you pull your hair out, and it's terrifying, and it's stressful. And I loved it. And I actually played it as like my main MMO for a little while when RL Craft was out, and then I was just like, I can't anymore.
That's cool. That's cool. I read that Minecraft can really suck you in. Minecraft mods. Willow says, "Vaughn, if you ever want to play modded Minecraft with me, I'm down." Willow, I'd love to. What happens is every 4 to 6 months, my friends start a modded Minecraft server, and like 6 of us go really deep. So next time that happens, I'll let you know and get you an invite to the server. So listen, we can keep talking about Minecraft. Maybe let's move into the post show as well as your Dragon Ball Z talk. Let's wrap it up and call it there.
I forgot about that for a minute.
Yeah. So thank you everyone.
Play the sound clip. We already
Yeah. Now I'll actually play. Goodbye everyone. Thank you. See you next week.